All right, so this is take two because I realized as I was doing the video that I forgot to pull something out of the car. But this is my Minuteman loadout for the Modern Minuteman's competition. We're gonna start at the top left with what is usually in the assault pack. So first off, inside the waterproof bag, we've got a extra field notes journal, face paint, duct tape, a headlamp, which is white or red. We have weapons cleaning kit made by Otis for a 5.56 or 7.62 rifle with all components inside. In-ear ear protection, over-the-ear electronic hearing protection, but it is it's not the fancy kind that has 360 sound. The iPro case, when they're not on my face, the iPro lives in there. And then additionally, inside that waterproof bag, we have this first aid kit. Inside it is medical tape, whatever this compression thing is that they usually put on your arm before they give you an IV or injection of some kind. I don't know the medical term for it. Gauze, Band-Aids, alcohol and iodine prep pads, triangular bandages, emergency rehydration, a PBT bandage, Q-tips, and tweezers and scissors for cutting and pulling out splinters and whatever else you might need scissors or tweezers for. And then 2 MREs. For the weather, in case it gets wet, which my area is looking like it's going to be when I go out later, we have a wet weather top and wet weather bottom, and those will live in a different compartment of the bag to be more easily accessible. They'll be right on the top and pretty much the ability to be the first thing I grab out of the bag. Next, the bag itself. It is just a military issue assault pack. I've got all the extra thread taped up, or not thread, the adjustment nylon taped up, with the exception of this little bit of adjustment here. This allows me to adjust it based on whether or not I'm wearing body armor. And then additionally within the bag, we have a collapsible ramrod in case stuck cartridges or casings, patches for uniforms in case they get torn, and a sewing kit. Then attached to the outside of the bag, we have a Army issued 3-quart hydration carrier. I just use these D-clips and hook it on these little, I don't know what to call them, but that allows me to attach the hydration carrier to the outside of the bag and not have to worry about it getting crushed underneath anything, or if it explodes or gets torn, it doesn't get my entire back wet. It just gets the bag wet, which nothing that is able to get wet from it is important because all the stuff that could get messed up if it gets wet is within the waterproof bag. Next, on my actual person, we have Rocky boots. They're just what I wear regularly for work. Then we have a Army combat top and combat pants. I don't have the knee pads for the pants because they are expensive, but I do plan on getting some at some point. Though I don't know I'll rock them in the pants all the time because that's just one more thing to be on your body, retaining body heat, making you hot, and it gets hot in the summer. Next, we have the chest rig and all of its contents. Going to start from left and work our way right. On the left, we have a tourniquet, just the regular cat tourniquet, Gen 5, I believe. Then we have a 1-quart canteen pouch. Inside of the canteen pouch, we have the canteen cup, which is there, some oral rehydration salts, and I don't even know what this is called, silverware for the field. Next pouch we have is just a general purpose admin pouch. Inside of that lives, or on the outside of that lives the Benchmade strap cutter. Never know when you're going to need that, so readily available at all times. Additionally, we have a M4 front sight adjustment tool. It has the 4-prong and 5-prong depending on your flavor of front sight. Then we have a protractor and compass. The compass is dummy corded to the pouch with this 550 cord that I need to burn off, but I don't currently have a lighter, so we're just making it work. Then we have chem lights that I have already pre-made one into a buzzsaw for signaling, and matches to start a fire. They are water resistant, and a 550 cord to just round it all out. You never know when you're gonna need it. And then next on the right, we have a double magazine pouch. Carries 2 AR-15, M4, whatever 5.56 rifle you're carrying magazines. And then next we have is the IFAK. So inside the IFAK is all the normal IFAK things. Combat gauze, small Sharpie for the tourniquet. There should be a casualty card in there somewhere. Gloves, compressed gauze, MPA, pressure dressing, medical tape, and then not normally count in, oh, and there's a eye shield in here, but it's a pain to get out. There it is. So, you know, injuries to the eyes can be properly dressed. And then not usually included in an IFAK, but I threw it in mine, is an emergency blanket because you never know when you're gonna need it. Then moving over, we have another 1-quart canteen and canteen cover, and another Gen 5 cat tourniquet. On the inner pocket of the tap, I have map of the local area. Then next we have is the belt. So the belt starting here, we have a hook for my gloves. The gloves I used to wear, oh, and this was Warrior Poet Society, but the gloves that I used to wear had a hook on them. The gloves I wear now do not. So they usually live in my cargo pocket, but the gloves I wear in the winter still have a hook on them. So I keep the hook on the belt so that I can use that in the winter. Next is a flashbang pouch, military issued. Inside of it are high protein quick snacks because I get hungry and protein is essential. Next we have a M7 bayonet with the M8A1 sheath. It is sharp. I have shown a few friends and they've cut themselves on it, but I do keep it sharp. Next is a magazine Kydex holder. Keeps really good retention on the magazine, but it allows for a speedy reload, and then just a dump pouch. Then in the pistol magazine pouch is a Gerber diesel multiplier. Not sure which one of those is the actual name for it, but I use it all the time, so there's no telling. Next is in this pouch, specifically this Velcro piece right here. I have a boo-boo kit if for whatever reason I don't have my pack on me. It's got Band-Aids, it's got Arnica, which is really good for aches and pains. This is the oral version, so you don't have to rub it on wherever it hurts. And then dummy corded to it is a whistle for signaling, and then inside the pouch is a commando saw, a Swiss Army knife, and a ferro rod and magnesium fire starter. Next we have my boonie cap that I didn't intend to show the rank on, but eventually that won't be there. And then on my person will be my gloves, Ride in the Rain notepad and pen, balaclavas because I would rather not show my face, eye pro if the weather is sunny, there'll be the dark lens, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 magazines, plus one in the weapon, and a Palmetto State dagger as my handgun, because I'm a poor boy and don't get paid a whole lot, so that's what I've got. My rifle is not that expensive, and neither is my optic, but I have flip-up backup iron sights in case the optic goes down, and that's that. So overall, that is all of my gear. So, real quick, I'm going to go over why my kit is set up the way it is and what my philosophy behind it was, as well as a little bit of a disclaimer, and to explain what happened at the end of my demonstrated fieldcraft skills. So, first off, I am, oh shoot, it's already almost time for my kids to wake up. I am currently still active duty, which is why most of my gear is military issued gear. It's what it was issued to me. That's also why the OCP/multicam, it was issued to me. That being said, I do plan on purchasing all of this when the time comes, so that I can continue to use the same gear and keep that muscle memory when I'm out. No matter who's paying you, whether it's Uncle Sam and the taxpayers or you're working your own job, all training is still training. And I take the military training seriously enough to provide actual value, even though a majority of my peers don't. So while I am still in and using issued gear, I am still training to be a modern Minuteman with no military industrial complex support and backup. That's why instead of just the hydration carrier that they issue, I've got 2 camelbacks on top of that. I'll drink out of the hydration carrier, and when I can resupply, I'll continue to do so. What's in the canteens is emergency, like I have no resupply and I need water. A couple things that are missing from my kit, because it is a 24-hour kit. I do not have shelter, and I do not have a sleep system, and I do not have a way to purify water. And my thought process behind that is, it is a 24-hour patrol on my own property. I might, depending on the size of the property, I might be able to come inside and re-up on water if necessary. I might be able to, or with it being a 24-hour patrol, I'm not going to stay overnight. I will continually be moving for the majority of that 24 hours along the property. If I was going out for longer, I would want a sleep system, at the very least a whoopee and a poncho or a tarp to set up an A-frame. If I would also want water purification tablets, at the very least, to purify extra water as I collect from the stream on the property. I also might consider more ammunition actually in the pack. As it stands, all of my ammo is on my kit from here to here, and 2 magazines in here and 1 in the weapon. I also, if it was going to be longer, I might ditch. Of course, when I tested this earlier, I had no problems, but now I'm hitting snags. What are you stuck on? I might ditch this and put a radio I don't have very much property, so signaling can be done other ways. I don't need a radio where I am. That being said, if I had more property, I would definitely probably swap that out for a radio, or swap out one of these magazines and put a radio in its pouch. Additionally, what happened with the, real quick, putting the magazine or map back in the map carrier and moving on before I've fully secured either of these. My wife was recording and it was about to start raining, and I wanted to get her out of the rain. I don't know if you can hear the thunder, but it is coming down outside right now, so that's why I try to do it quickly and get going so that she could go inside out of the rain. And I think that about covers it. So now I just got to compile the 3 videos together, and there we go.